I will start from the part that still wakes me up at night. I saw myself standing outside a house covered in snow. The cold was biting my skin, but in the dream, I was not shivering. I was holding my husband's hand, but when I looked down, the hand was not mine. It was another woman's hand. She was wearing my clothes. She was wearing my wedding ring. She was smiling beside my husband. And I was standing there watching, powerless. I tried to shout his name, but no sound came out. I tried to move closer, but the ground under my feet felt soft, like mud, like something was pulling me down. The woman looked at me and smiled wider. A smile that told me that she had taken my place. A smile that said I was already gone. I woke up sweating, chest tight, heart beating fast. I remembered something my grandmother once said when I was a child in Kano. She told me, when a woman sees herself watching her own life from outside, the spirits are warning her. Something is about to be taken away. I tried to shake the dream off. I told myself I was only stressed. I told myself everything would be fine. But deep inside me, something whispered that my life was about to turn into something I would never forget. Something painful. Something dark. I did not know it then, but the dream was a warning. A warning I did not understand until it was too late. Everyone around me kept saying I should be happy. They said I was lucky because many women begged for the chance I had. My husband, Idris, had traveled to America 9 months before me to work as a nurse. Now I was going to join him. Everyone said my life was changing for the better. I smiled when they talked, but inside my chest, I felt something heavy. Something I could not explain to anyone. I tried to push it aside because I didn't want to sound ungrateful. I wanted to believe the good story everyone else believed. When Idris first left Nigeria, our relationship was full of love. We talked on video calls every day. He said he missed me. He told me he was working hard for our future. But with time, something changed. Our calls became short. He sounded tired. He sounded distant. Sometimes, he would say he needed to sleep. Sometimes, he would not call at all. When I asked if everything was okay, he would say yes. He said America was stressful. I believed him. I forced myself to believe him. Then he mentioned a name. Julia. He said she was a nurse who worked with him. He said she was kind. He said she was helping him understand how to live in America. When I heard her name, something inside me became cold. I didn't know why. I didn't know this woman. But something told me she was important. Too important. Still, I continued packing. I told myself everything would be okay. I should have listened to my spirit. The day I traveled, my family filled the compound. Everyone wanted to hug me. Everyone wanted to pray for me. Everyone wanted to tell me how blessed I was. My mother hugged me and held my face in her hands. Her eyes were soft, but I could see worry inside them. Amira, she said, remember who you are. Don't let that place change you. And don't let anyone take your place. I nodded, but at the time, I did not understand the depth of her words. My father prayed for me at the airport. He prayed for my marriage. He prayed for my safety. He prayed for my destiny. He prayed for Idris and me to stay connected. Listening now, those prayers feel like warnings. He must have felt something too. The flight was long. I spent most of it imagining how Idris would smile when he saw me. I imagined us hugging. I imagined cooking together again. I imagined starting a new life with him. But when I came out into the arrival hall in Ohio, I saw him. And I saw her beside him. A woman. Smiling. Standing too close to him. Looking too comfortable. He didn't look excited. He didn't even rush to hug me. My heart fell to the floor before any words were spoken. I walked toward them slowly. Idris opened his arms, but the hug was weak. His hands barely rested on my back. It felt like he was hugging a stranger. I tried to smile, but my lips were shaking. I looked at the woman beside him. She was tall, light-skinned, and confident. She didn't look away. She didn't pretend. She simply watched us. "This is Julia," Idris said, like her presence beside him was normal. Like I shouldn't feel anything. Julia smiled. "Hi, Amira. I've heard so much about you." Her voice was warm, but her eyes were sharp. Too sharp. On the drive home, Idris sat in the front with her. I sat at the back, holding my bags like a guest in my own marriage. They were laughing. Talking. Comfortable. I felt invisible. I stared out the window at the strange buildings, the empty roads, the snow. Everything felt cold. I wanted to cry, but I swallowed it. But tomorrow was worse. When we got to the apartment, I noticed things that didn't belong to me. A jacket that was not Idris's size. A pink water bottle beside the sink. A hairbrush on the bathroom counter. A perfume scent in the air that I had never smelled before. "Does she come here?" I asked quietly. Idris did not answer immediately. "She helps me sometimes," he finally said. "With cleaning. With things I don't understand. America is stressful, Amira." I saw 2 wine glasses on the table. I saw a photo frame of Idris and Julia from what looked like a work party. They were too close in the picture. Too happy. That night, I slept beside him, but our bodies never touched. He faced the other side. I was watching my own life from outside. The days passed, but Idris and I were not the same. The love we used to have was gone. The house was full of silence. Heavy silence. Painful silence. He spent most of his time at work. Or maybe he was with her. I knew the truth. I began to call my mother. She said, "Pray. Marriage is not always sweet. You must fight for your place." So I prayed. I fasted. I cried quietly at night. But my prayers felt like they were hitting a locked door. One evening, I decided I could not keep quiet anymore. Idris came home smelling of the same sweet perfume. Not mine. I said, "Are you seeing Julia?" He got defensive. He raised his voice. He made me look like the problem. I sat alone in the living room, crying silently. He slept on the couch. America felt big. Cold. Lonely. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have a job yet. The house felt like a cage. One afternoon, I saw Julia's name flash on his phone screen. She sent him a heart emoji. I realized then that I had lost something without knowing the exact moment I lost it. One evening, Idris came home late. I asked where he was. He said, "Work." I said, "Don't lie to me." He looked at me and said, "I'm not the same person anymore. You need to accept that." Those words killed something inside me. My mother called me early one morning. She said she saw a shadow between Idris and me. A shadow shaped like a woman. "Be careful," she said. I didn't tell her anything. I just cried. I decided to get a job. I needed to breathe. I found a job in a small African store. The owner, Auntie Holima, was kind. She saw the sadness in my eyes without me telling her anything. Working gave me something to hold on to. One afternoon, I felt someone watching me. I turned and saw Julia. She leaned closer and said quietly, "America can be hard, especially if your marriage is already shaking." My heart froze. That night, I had the dream again. This time, the woman wearing my ring was Julia. I woke up screaming. Idris rushed in. I tried to hold him. He pulled his hand away. The next day, I confronted him again. He said, "Amira, you are becoming too emotional. Maybe you need help." Like I was the problem. America was different. Marriage in America was different. Loyalty died easily here. One day, I met a neighbor. An older African woman named Fatima. She said, "I have seen him with that woman. Many times." I went home and cried until my chest hurt. Weeks passed. Idris and I barely spoke. He worked long hours. Or maybe he was with her. The pain became normal. One evening, Idris's phone rang. He was in the shower. I answered. Julia said, "He's with me tonight. Don't wait for him." I dropped the phone. He didn't come home that night. Or the next. He sent a message, "I think we should take a break." I stopped eating. I stopped working. I fell in the kitchen one morning. I whispered, "My God, help me." My mother's voice came into my head, "Remember who you are." I realized I had forgotten. I sat up slowly and wiped my face. Idris came home one evening. He said, "We need to talk." He said the marriage was not working. I nodded. I did not beg. He left. Accepting something does not remove the pain. It only makes it clearer. I realized the hardest part of heartbreak is the quiet afterward. Healing came slowly. I returned to work. The women around me supported me. Prayed with me. Pain connects women. The African women said, "Men lose themselves in America." I understood now. Idris didn't just leave me. America swallowed him. And he didn't fight it. One afternoon, Idris came with divorce papers. I signed. He said he was sorry. He was sorry too late. Time passed. Silence no longer hurt. I laughed again. I prayed with sincerity. Healing was like sunrise, slow, soft. I learned that love is not possession. Marriage is not guarantee. A woman must never lose herself. I learned I was stronger than I knew. I moved into a new place. Small but peaceful. I started taking classes. People began to say I looked lighter, brighter, stronger. Sometimes, I still remember the dream. But now, I understand the message. It was not just a warning of loss. It was a warning of transformation. I was meant to break, so I could rebuild differently. I was meant to lose him, so I could return to myself. I am Amira. I survived. And I am free.